Uni ETV, home of the stellar nominated station Praise.fm, would like to extend our gratitude for your support in 2023. We extend our blessings for health, happiness, and love in 2024. From our home to yours, have a happy new year.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Momentum Shift. I know it's been a minute, but I am back, y'all. Back in the studio with Dr. Lady Rain, making it rain here in the Valley of the Sun. Y'all know we got some rain, the Friday before Christmas. You know, we don't get a lot of rain here in Arizona, but I noticed over the last couple of years, it's been raining a whole lot more than what it used to. So I blame that on all the folks, the transplants that have moved here. I was once one of those myself 23 years ago next month, but I blame it on all the people from the rainy parts of the United States that have brought all of this rain and precipitation here to the Valley of the Sun. So Dr. Lady Rain, you know, every time we say her name, it becomes prophetic and the rain comes tumbling down. It's watering our spiritual roots here at the radio station, where there are many show opportunities where you can get involved. If you'd like to possibly have your own show, you know what to do. You can hit me up in my inbox, or you can go to Praise.fm radio and send her a message saying, I too would like to have my show on this platform. This is the Anointed Station, the 2023 Stella nominated radio station. We keep getting nominated for award after award, and I declare that this is the year that we're going to win, because we win here at this station. So I'm hopeful that everyone is excited for the 2024 spiritual year and physical year. We just crossed over on Sunday night. I hope some of you all gave God a praise. I know I gave him a praise. I wasn't feeling well, but I still tried to do my best. Came in the new year itching, but you know what? The Lord, he was showing me my blessings that are coming. I'm not being superstitious, but whenever the Lord does allow something, it's always a purpose behind it. So I'm going to encourage you all to find you a place to worship in this year. Find you a place in God to be in his presence. Seek his face, hear his voice, and stand on the promises of God, which are truly yes and amen. Even if you've not seen it manifest yet, know that God is not a liar. Everything that he has promised you, it is so and amen. So I encourage you to keep your head up, stay focused, find a goal. If you don't have a goal, get a goal this year that you're going to accomplish. And I encourage you, if you stay the course, you're going to see manifestation, because this year is the year of manifestation. It's the year of expansion. Doors are opening. So whatever you've been praying and seeking God for, I encourage you to stand firm on his promise. And don't let up. Don't let the naysayers speak in your ear. I don't care if you don't have but a penny in your pocket. I encourage you to continue to confess what the word of the Lord has said over your life. And you continue to sow good things. You continue to believe God. You continue to confess his word. And I promise you, he is not a man that he should lie, nor the son of man that he should repent. If he said it, you will see it. Amen. Amen. So I wanted to declare that over. I know I haven't been before you all, so I had to get that little preach out just a teeny bit. I wanted to remind the people of God that God's word is always, it's everlasting. He don't renege on his promises. He never does. I may have to preach to myself tonight, but that's okay. I'm excited to have my friend here in the studio with me on this platform. It's like, oh Lord, I told Dr. Lady Rain I was going to start the show. And I'm like, Lord, who am I going to have for a guest? Because I can never, she won't ever be on the show. She refused to be in front of the camera. It's like pulling teeth to get her to be in front of the camera. She going to get me. But anyway, I was like, okay, I'm going to be a woman of my word. I'm doing my show no matter what happens. Of course, El Enemy tried to start last night. I said, nope, I'm going to do my show. I'm going to come home and I'm going to sit in front of my computer and I'm going to do it. And so that's Seretta. Her mama said, I'm sitting there getting my hair done last Saturday and I was talking about the show. And we laugh and we talk. I said, oh, you should be a guest on my show because she is hilarious. Hilarious. Seretta gets it from her mama. And so, like I said, I've known them for years. And she said, my daughter does podcasts. Her friends was doing podcasts. I was like, Seretta, I didn't even know that. Seretta used to babysit my baby, who I mentioned last night. He smiled. Big old smile came on his face. She's a celebrity, and I don't know, in kids' world. Seretta has her own world. I used to ask about Seretta, and her mom would say, Seretta's in Seretta's world. I never really knew what that meant, but we're going to find out tonight. We're going to find out tonight. So welcome, Seretta, to the Momentum Shift. We are so happy to have you tonight. This is such an exciting occasion. Who knew Seretta would be sitting across from me, being interviewed by me on my show? No one knew that was going to happen 20 years ago.
No, not at all. And thank you so much for having me. I just want to, first of all, say thank you. I'm honored. And I'm so proud just to see the growth that you've had over the years. And you've always been someone that I've been able to look up to, and I admire you in so many different aspects. And I thank you so much for what you're doing. Even seeing you do your show, it's actually given me just the encouragement to still want to, pursue it in this, in that light. And you do it with such grace, and you're speaking life into people. And this is, please don't take this lightly, what you do. This is so amazing.
Gosh, I'm gonna cry. I don't even know where to put that, but thank you.
Thank you.
God, people do say to God be the glory a lot, and it's become like rhetoric. But I will say I really do give him glory for it, because I was on my way out of here a few years ago, and if it wasn't for his healing power and being able to stand on his word, I wouldn't be able to sit here. And you never know who's watching.
Yeah.
There are many people who don't say anything to you, but they will look at you, and they may model their lives after. We're always setting an example, either a good, a bad one, or an ugly one, or it could be a positive one. We really kind of choose what type of light we're going to be. We can either be a shining light, bright light, or we can be bright and not be right. Yeah. So just because you shining don't mean that you shining the right way. Mm-hmm. And so I do my best in the things of God to be able to walk circumspect before the people of God, because I do really want to hear him say, well done.
Yeah.
I do want to hear that. That's important to me. And I'm not saying that just because we say that in church world. I do want him to say that and welcome me in. A lot of times we go places that we're not welcome. And we get that confused. Just because you're invited don't mean you're welcome. See you messing with me tonight, Miss.
No, I ain't messing with you.
You messing with me tonight, but it's the truth. You can be invited someone and not be welcome. And when you get there, you may feel out of place. Mm-hmm. Because they didn't really effectively welcome you there. They just told you to come. But when someone welcomes you in, they invite you and then they welcome you, it has a different atmosphere.
Yeah.
That's a place where it's comfortable to eat. That's a place where you get nourished. That's a place where you can sit back and relax. But if you're in a place where it don't feel right, yeah, I might have been invited, but if it's not feeling right, then you're not going to want to eat from something that don't feel right. I'm not eating there. If your kitchen nasty, I don't want to eat in your kitchen. If I open that refrigerator and it looks disgusting, I don't want nothing on your stove.
Nothing.
No, you don't want that. So it's nice to feel welcome. It's nice to be invited and to feel welcome. And so I wanted you to come on the show tonight, really, because everybody has a story to tell. And like you, I watched your life, and I've noticed, because I've known you a long time, I didn't realize you were as young as you are.
Me neither.
Sarita, you making me feel old because you were watching Jalen when he was what, 2?
Yeah, well, I think he was about 3 or 4.
Was he that old? Because I was thinking he was younger than that.
He was about 3 or 4 and just
Oh my God. So
full
he's
sight.
23. So
Wow. Wow.
yeah, go figure that. So I've known Sarita a good 20 years, probably a little longer than that,
Wow.
before you ever watched him. And it was your mom. It's always your mom.
Yeah.
Your mom is the one that said, my daughter, because she used to live right over another subdivision over from us. So my husband and I needed a sitter. I would reach out to Seretta, and she watched Jalen, and he loved Seretta. Oh my God. Loved her, and still does. And it's funny because he hadn't seen her in a few years. Last time he saw you, probably when you came to visit church with your mom one time or something. And he was big boy then, but
Yeah.
if you saw him now, like, he was just like, whoa, he remembered her. He never forgot Seretta. I'm telling you, if I say Seretta, I get the biggest smile. And to have an impact on somebody's life that you don't even see,
Yeah.
that's pretty remarkable. Pretty remarkable. So Seretta has been living her best life. And I'm not saying that in the way that people say it in the media, but she's really living her best life. And we had a little bit of a chat last night, and it's interesting that your mom encouraged me to have you on, because I don't think she's ever even watched the show. I don't think she even knew what I would talk about. But I'm always looking for people who have a story that's impactful. And that doesn't mean everything was perfect, but it's impactful. And I'm glad that I followed through with it and, invited you to come on. And we had a talk last night, and boy, oh boy, my mind was blown. And I'm like, wow, God, I see why you were being recommended. So there are places where, Seretta, your name is being put in the atmosphere. So I'm going to say, keep living the way you're living, and even push even more and more, because you never know where the Lord is going to take you in 2024 and beyond. So having said that, Seretta she's living this single life, and she's living it well. So I had to commend you on that, simply because, you don't see a whole lot of that out here in the world that we live. Sorry if y'all hear a little beep. I'm on my work computer, so I don't know how to turn my notifications off right now. So y'all gonna have to don't get me. I forgot to turn them off, and now I can't. So but anyway, Seretta, tell us a little bit about you, and kind of a little bit about your journey, so that people know where you've been, where you are now, and then kind of where we're going. That's kind of how we're going to do this tonight. Okay. So if you could introduce yourself a little bit more and just tell people about what's good with you.
All right. Well, good evening, everyone, just in general. And again, thank you so much for, just giving me the opportunity to be on your platform. And just to start, I know we met, of course, through being at the salon, and just me given the opportunity to just be a part in Jalen's life and your son's life, and especially at such a young age. And I can actually say, kind of looking back, that is something that I'm more intentional with, as far as when I'm dealing with children, or just people in general, but especially children.
Excuse me.
Just, listening to them, understanding them, when they're telling you about something that they really love, just, not shooing them off, because a lot of times as adults, we do have a tendency to, we're not really trying to hear what kids are saying, but just having a certain heart, to the younger generation. And I feel like that gives me just a sense of pride, and also knowing that it's really just showing God's love that's within me, to another generation, especially when they grow up and they they remember you from their childhood, and all they can do is smile and say, you know, you're the reason I enjoy to read, or, you know, just knowing that I planted any kind of positive seed in their life. But yeah, just in general, that's, you know, kind of my background. I love to babysit when I was younger, and you
That
know,
don't exist no more.
transitioning,
Wow.
right, transitioning into adulthood, I still ended up, you know, watching people and whatnot. But I got into working in the healthcare sector and just, you know, navigating through life. And
Mhm.
I can say dating in, you know, whatnot in my 20s, there were things that I might have done or
Mhm.
wasn't, you know, I can say there's a certain light that doesn't come on until you hit a certain age.
Yeah, our late bishop said it was the what do we call it? The frontal lobe hadn't quite
Yes,
developed yet.
the
It don't
frontal lobe. But
right
once
close
it
around
becomes
30. Yeah,
developed, it's so many lights that come on. Just like
yeah.
I was okay with, you know, but that's just to say I did throughout my you know, throughout my younger years,
Yeah,
I got to experience a lot of
yeah,
things
yeah.
as far as dating and putting yourself out there to
Mhm.
just experience life in a sense,
Mhm.
but also not losing myself,
Yeah.
you know, overall. Just saying, okay, if I am in this situation, where is it going to take us, or where is it going to take me?
Mhm.
And it's scary to say there are a lot of women that lose themselves, you know, especially those latter 20s going into your 30s, you know, you're not really sure
Mhm.
of yourself at that point.
Yeah, like that whole, and I like I shared with you last night. It's not great. Granted, I have been married, been with my husband. Actually, I met him 35 years ago this month.
Wow.
Excuse me. We got married 6 months later. But I'll tell you, the single life right now, the people that I know, I have friends that are out, you know, through no fault of their own, you know, life happened and this is where they find themselves. And the stories that I hear, I'm like, OMG. It's
Yeah.
scary out in these dating streets. Things have changed. I mean, they really have. And so a lot of people meet people online and it comes with its own level of stuff. And so that whole thing is being able to choose you and being steadfast in that and not moving against what your principles are and your core values are. It's really hard out there from what I'm hearing. It's not even, I mean, even in marriage, I mean, I hear that from people who've been married as well. It's easy, especially when you get into parenting and other things, it's easy to get to lose yourself in
Yeah.
your marriage, lose yourself in your career, lose yourself in ministry, lose yourself um with your children, family, you know, all the things. Being a woman comes with a lot of responsibility. And there is no preparation for it other than most of us learn how to be women. We learn how to be women. We learn from our friends, um, or what we categorize as what a female should or shouldn't do. We learn these things from the people we spend our time with, generally our family of origin
Mhm.
and are our friends of origin, you know, the people that surround us in our formative years is where we kind of learn. It's, you know, some people call it big mama. Some people, we down in the South where I'm from, it's a momo. You know,
Yeah.
some people say big mama. You know, they have their own, you know, reason. Now we've graduated from that, and we're no, you ain't calling me no Gigi. Now my sister Renee, her grandkids call her Momo, and she like being called Momo. I ain't no Momo. I'm Gigi, and I'm older than my sister Renee, but it's just preference. But the
Mhm.
other part is, um, and so my grandkids call my mom grandma. She's never been a Momo because my grandmother, who was alive until 85, she was Momo. So we have all these names that are terms of endearment.
Mhm.
But the interesting part about that is the big mamas of the world don't seem to exist anymore.
No.
They There's a few around. Um, you have some people who have people like that in their lives, but even the church mothers have gotten younger and younger. I'll put it that way. Like, there's not a whole lot of mothering going on in the way. And I'm not saying that everything that we learned and everything that they said, because them church mothers used to be rough. They meant well, though. They didn't know necessarily how to say stuff in the right way. But I also think about, if it hadn't been those church mothers, because my mama was one of them, they would tell you, baby, they knew. They could look at you and know you was pregnant. You ain't have to tell them. That's why you came to church. Them mothers can read. They read your mail. They knew what you did, and they tell you about yourself. In this day and age, you do that. The folks, they put in Facebook posts, and they call you out on social media now. There's been a culture shift, and I believe part of it, and like I said, I'm not saying all of it was good. It had its place. All of it is good. I'm grateful for my Momo, though, because if it wasn't for her, I might not have liked what she had to say, but I'm grateful that she said it, because it's made me the woman I am today. Because a lot of the things I found myself, I paid attention more of what she said than I wanted to. I'll put it that way. And so I'm not saying I did everything I should have done or everything that she would have wanted it, the way she said it. No, I didn't. But I'm grateful that the grace of God was on my life to where I could say 35 years later, I've been in the same marriage.
Yes.
It wasn't always hunky-dory, but I grew into me in this experience. So I went from a season in my life where, I catered to this, that, and the other because I didn't know me. And now I can be me and we be whole at the same time. So when we come back from the break, what I want to talk with you about, and you share it with the audience, is how have you maintained your wholeness? Because what I said, in the post was, I thought about, there are lots of I ams that we are. I can be, I am woman, I'm student, I'm this, I'm that. We are a lot of things. But what are we not today? So that was the reason why I said I am, and not today. Because what I was, I'm not that today. And so I'm glad you said what you said earlier about the decisions you made in your 20s. The closer you got to your 30s, you start looking back and you're like, did I do that?
Yeah.
So when we come back from the break, I'm going to ask you all to stick around, because right after the break, we're going to come back and we're going to finish this talk. Stay tuned.
Have you ever wanted to host your own inspirational radio show? Have you been called to inspire and spread God's word? Please contact Alicia Rain for more info.
Coming soon. A new season of Speaking Plain English with Roberta. Join us for new live episodes every Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, starting January 6th, only on Praise.fm.
Are you the next great independent artist? But you're looking for a distribution opportunity? Well, sign with us at Praise.fm Music Distribution. Yes, the 2021 Stellar Award nominated Praise.fm can handle it all. We understand the narrow road leading to getting your music heard at the right time at the right place can be tough. So send your music and video files to fmpraise@gmail.com. That's fmprayz@gmail.com. Praise.fm Music Distribution, affiliated with Sony Music and the Orchard Distributors.
Ain't no way I'm gonna leave you now. Ain't no way I'm gonna let you down. I'm this far, I'm gonna get my ground. You're the reason why my mind is out. Forget pain has come around and it's pounding at my door.
Come on.
My name is Maharo Peoples Jr. I'm the executive producer for MP2 Music Incorporated in Manassas, Virginia. I tend to have a heart for people who suffer from depression because I've suffered from that for years and years and years and years. And there's a song that I've written called I Threw in the Towel. And in the chorus it says, I threw in the towel. I wanted to give up, but Jesus said no. And the reason I wrote this song is because I had a time in my life where I considered committing suicide. I was having all kinds of problems in my life, and I was overwhelmed. And I stood on the roof of a building that I worked at, and I wanted to take my life. I stood on that roof, and I almost stepped off until God threw the towel at me and said, hey, listen, don't give up.
I threw in the towel. My God, y'all are racing right there.
I threw it in, my God, he threw it back at me.
He threw it right back at me, yes he did. I threw in the towel. I wanted to give up.
Calling all independent gospel and inspirational artists. Praise Fest, Jacksonville, Florida. I'm coming home.
This is going to be an evening of healing and praise.
Nephew, if they only knew our story.
Auntie, which is why Jacksonville does not want to miss this.
Join us Friday, February 23rd, 2024
at Greater Mount Pleasant Baptist Church, Callahan, Florida.
Meet us there.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Maharo Peoples Jr., aka MP2, and I want you to go to HarlemBoyCollection.com. That's HarlemBoyCollection.com. I need you to join the Harlem Boy tribe today because Harlem Boy has just come out with the MP2, yes, Maharo Peoples Jr. MP2 edition Tribe basketball shoe. We have it in men and women's sizes. Come on, y'all. HarlemBoyCollection.com. Visit today and get your signature MP2 edition Tribe basketball shoe today. Join the tribe.
Hey, how can I help?
Well, I kind of need to help you in life insurance.
I can help you with that. You can apply for life insurance and book an appointment right from my website. Me and my design team, we'll help you find a solution.
That it?
That's it. Now check your email. WoMacProtects.com.
Shop Soulful Touch Roses for your personally designed rose at soulfultouchgifts.etsy.com.
Are you interested in continuing your education, certificate, or degree that will prepare you in the ministry and equip you in the marketplace? Come make Christ Central University your home. Visit us at www.myccu.online.
Welcome back to the Momentum Shift, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm excited to be here. I know y'all probably like, why is she on at this time? They were used to me being on Tuesday nights. You know, it's Momentum Shift. I had to shift some things up. We had to shift some things up because Dr. Lady Rain is teaching classes. She in school. She got a whole life going on. This woman right here, y'all. Yeah, if y'all follow her social media, you know she's all over the place. She's an international person. She be in the Bahamas one week and Canada the next. It just don't make no sense. I can't keep up. I text her today, asked, when you going? She gave me the dates. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be like her when I grow up.
She on the move.
Always. Every month she's somewhere. I can't keep up. Now you heard the announcements. She on her way to Praise Fest, Jacksonville. I'm just like, I can't with them too. Now she even got Earl on here talking on the video. I'm like, what? Wait, how did that happen? I hadn't seen that commercial. I hadn't heard that commercial. I was not ready for that.
That was your first time just hearing it?
Huh?
That was your first time just hearing it?
Yeah, that was my first time hearing that. Yeah, because I've been so busy. I don't have no life. None. Work. I had turned into a old crusty lady. I'll be going to bed at 8:30. That's been my life. I just told you I met Bebe.
They
don't even say it.
Hide.
Bebe is an international chick.
Baby,
I didn't learn some things. I done learned lots of things. So yeah, this chick been tired and going to bed. So yeah, I took Lady Rain be staying up later than me now. And I used to fuss at her by being sleepy and going to bed. No, that boomerang came right on back. It came. I'm like, I can't do it. So, but anyway, welcome back. We've been having a good chat with Seretta. She's been talking about, we was just, kicking back, talking about a few things. But last night on the phone, while we were preparing for tonight, we were talking about being whole. Like, what does it mean to be a whole woman? Oh Lord, I need healing from a headache. Lord, I got an ingrown toenail. Can you heal that? My back hurt. Can you heal that? My eyelash hurt. Can you heal that? I mean, and I'm not trying to, we have aches and pains. And I'm going to tell you, you keep waking up in the morning, you find parts of your body that you didn't know existed. When you get above a certain age, stuff just start changing. Pains, you didn't know there was a muscle there until you get to be a certain age. Things just don't continue down the path that they once were.
Yeah.
So with that, we kind of, we believe God, our faith. We'll start, okay, I'm gonna declare my faith on this, I'm gonna declare my faith on that. But after a while, it's like we just start seeing like, okay, Lord fix this and then something else. Lord fix that and then something else. And so that wholeness doesn't mean you don't ever have anything that happens, because it does. But how do you describe being a whole woman? And what does that look like for you? Now that where you at? I don't know if you want to tell the folks how old you are now. You might.
I mean, I'm 35 going on 55, but
For real.
But no,
she been here before. That's what they would say. That's what the black folks down in the South would say. She been here before. That's what.
What? I've been hearing that all my life. Now that I'm getting older, I'll be like, I've been here before. I'm tired.
So you know what that means, right? You tired. Okay, I get
but
that.
No, just to kind of circle back with what you were saying. You do change every couple of years, really.
Yeah.
And as far as to answer your question, as far as how do I try to stay whole in the midst of this wild dating world out here? I think it really gets to a point, just you have to be honest with yourself and what you want and what you deserve, and realizing that if what you're doing or what you're even putting out and what you're attracting isn't lining up with that, then you really just you have to go deeper with God. And it takes a lot of honesty, and it's nasty in a sense. Like, I don't want to have to acknowledge certain things, but it really gets to a point where you have to say, God, like, save me from myself. Because I want to do everything that I probably is not in alignment with you, and that's how we end up losing ourselves. We're on a whole different pathway.
Yeah.
And a lot of times God talks to us. You hear it, but you want to do your own thing. So now and again, that's what we were talking about. You praying to get out of a situation that you never prayed to get into.
Oh,
you prayed about it in the first point, and
that right there.
I think that's the light bulb that came on after a while. And you really start to look around like, why am I even in this situation? What is this for? Like, do you even believe in God? Do you pray? Like, where are we going? Like, what is this for? What is this for? And
yeah, I was telling you, a girlfriend of mine was sharing some things. She was like, she had to start hitting block, delete, block, because even people who are professing to be men of God out here just living foul. And you said what you said. The first thing they're talking about, oh, they don't barely know your name, but they already talking about sex. Like, come on now. I mean, that's just shady. You shady, you sketchy. And that right there, if that's all you're talking about, then that's all you're interested in. Because there's way more to life than just that. Intimacy is not just about the sex act. That's a very small part of intimacy, actually. But when we don't know who we are and we don't know whose we are, we don't realize that God created us a certain way. And I'm not saying that people who made mistakes, we've all made mistakes. So I ain't throwing shade at nobody at all. I'm talking about my own self. So we made decisions and choices that just weren't good for us. Not good for us at all. And when you find yourself feeling you're not even happy, you ain't even happy with you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because we look on Instagram and we look on this, and hey, I'm the filter queen, so I can hear again. I ain't hating on nobody. However, we got to learn how to look beyond the filters. Those lives, all people posting is they this, they that, they the other. And I mean, think about it. All the folks with money, we follow all the stars. We follow this one, we following that one. But who are they really following? Because we can look at their lives, man. Yeah, they got material things, but walking in misery.
Yeah.
So that story you were telling me last night about the guy who wanted to pay your bills.
It said, you must like being alone. I said, all right.
And they hate it when you good with you. That's the thing. Like, why is there a problem with me being good with me?
Oh yeah, when you good with you, I've heard a lot of things, and it's not to say, oh, you're not good enough for me, but it's not. What you're presenting is not that great of an offer. No, thank you.
So you got to consider the offer.
Yeah, because I'm hearing your offer, and I actually don't care for it. So respectfully, no, but
that sounds like a book right there. That's a whole chapter in a book.
Do better,
man.
But, I feel like, again, when we go back to especially the online dating thing, it's a mess. It's funny at this point, don't even take it too serious, but
now some people have found some good folk on there. So some people have found their forever love, and the Lord, maybe the Lord was in that. And so we ain't hating on the whole thing. It ain't that. But we have to be discerning though. And that's what my girlfriend actually was talking about. She's like, these fools out here in these streets, they just something. I think the internet has made a lot of us just foolish.
Foolish and insecure, and everybody is taking stuff at face value sometimes.
Yeah.
And, you meet somebody, they can tell you a lot of things, but if they're doing the opposite and you see it, now it's kind of on you. Like, you saw these red flags, you saw these things, but you still were hopeful. Maybe what's in your face isn't the truth, isn't actually Like you said, y'all started dating. He was homeless and he moved in, and now you're realizing you don't want this, but you
don't
never
even
knew
like
him in
him.
the first place.
But you don't even like him.
You don't even like him. You didn't even know him. It is,
Oh man. And when you living together, it's not the time. That's when you really find out who folks
that's work. That's real work.
Man, that's a whole nother show. But who do you think, like, who, if you had to name a woman that you've watched weather the storms, because there's storms in life, like whether you're married, whether you're single, whether you're black, white, Greek, whatever, internationally, I don't care what language you speak, I don't care what, regardless of those things, we as humans go through the same thing. Everyone wants to be loved. Everyone wants to be wanted. They want to be welcome. We don't just want to be invited, but we want to be welcome.
Yeah.
And I think we as girls, I'm gonna speak to the little girl in us. I think as girls, we grow up in an environment where we want to be invited to the party. It starts when we're littles. We have friends, and it's a big thing to be invited somewhere. That's, you get invited to the party, or not being left out. That's hard. And that's real stuff. And it messes us up in our head, because if I don't think I'm good enough, or I don't think I'm pretty enough, and we can say it all day, but if we're having real talk, and I'm having real talk, I didn't always feel like I was good enough. And the enemy will still he'll try to play them games. He don't do anything new. It's the same reel over and over. See, we know them as reels. I don't know. They might be shorts now. I don't know what they are now. It's, at one time they were, what were those things in the beginning? Those little,
vines or something.
Vines.
Like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. See, you're taking me way back, but we done been through back, we got caught up. So everybody wants to feel special in some way. And unfortunately, some of us did not have great examples of what being special should look like. Maybe your mama didn't know what being special was like, or your aunt, or your grandma, or it might not even been a person in your family. It could have been someone that lived next door. I don't know. It could have been your teacher, because all teachers weren't living all they know how either. They had problems. Teachers have problems just like everybody else. They have the same problems your mama have. They had the same problems your aunt had. Just because they're a teacher, I don't know why. When I grew up, they would always say somebody's showing out or having some issues, and they'll say, "Well, she's a school teacher." Okay, what does being a school teacher and being educated does not stop? It don't mean you have a great self-esteem. It doesn't mean you won't have issues in your life because you have a degree and know how to work. You have a job. Does not exclude you from problems.
No.
But we have a tendency to put people up on pedestals for the wrong reasons, not realizing they have the same challenges that we do, and we're comparing ourselves.
And we think that maybe the position that they're in, or what it looks like from the outside looking in, is so great. And if we see that they're in this relationship, oh, it looks great, but you don't know, she might actually be getting abused behind closed doors, and it's too embarrassing to say something because of how she knows other people view her.
Exactly. And how many times do we view the person that's being victimized? We beat them up.
Yeah. Why would you stay in that? And you don't know.
It's not as easy to leave. And the thing is, maybe for you it is, but maybe for her it's not. And I'll even take it a step further. I know historically we've thought of that being a woman problem, but there are men who get abused by women also. And there are no shelters out there for them though. No, you know what they are? They're homeless. You just see them out on the streets. So they've been abused by their family members, and a lot of them become abusers because of their family members, because maybe that's all they saw in their home, and that's how they manage their own lack of self-worth, because it's really about power or the lack thereof. So it's one of those things, though, is it's not popular to choose you, even though we say it is, but it isn't, because choosing me might mean that I'm going to be just with me. And that takes some real big girl panties.
It is. It's not
pull up.
It's not fun.
And it ain't easy.
And it's not easy, but
no.
And just to kind of circle back around to, you were saying, talking to the child in you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are operating with, like a deeply rooted spirit of rejection. We don't know it until, now you're in your adulthood and you experience rejection, and it can send you over the edge. But that really can link back to something way deeper than what it seems from the surface. So I think that, again,
or abandonment,
rejection, and again, that comes with really getting to know somebody that you're dating, because what you see on the outside is cool, but it's so many different layers of things, and you don't know how somebody is handling that. Simple. I didn't call you back in time. A full. But
and you don't even know where that came from. Like,
it's deeply rooted from way back to their childhood that's never been done.
And that's whether you're male or female.
Male or female. And I've been in situations before, and I remember telling somebody, like, the way you're getting mad at me over, honestly, something that doesn't hold any weight. Like, you're in a battle between you and you, and I just so happened. I said that, and I just so happened to be in the middle. I'm catching all the speed. You in a battle with yourself. I gotta get out of this.
Well, I'm glad that you did, because I know it's not easy, and it's not even a popular topic. To be able to sit and say, you know what, I was in that, but I chose not to be, and I made the conscious choice. But it's not easy to do. Sometimes people need help getting out of it. And I know in the church world, we went through a season. I don't know if we're still doing that, because the churches I've been a part of as of recent, I don't think that that's necessarily the culture. But I know in the old school church, they would tell you to stay. That person could cheat for every day. You just stay because you got the kids. You got guilted into staying. Or it may have been because maybe you couldn't afford to live on your own, or any of those, or there wasn't the resources out there, because there was a time where a person in a situation like that didn't have anywhere to go, unless there was family that was willing to take you in, and then you end up being indigent. And I mean, it came with a lot. One of my first when I was an intern getting my master's in social work, I was doing counseling we had a contract in the state I was in with Battered Women's Shelter. So I was providing services to women. That's when I really started learning, like, what that was like, because I didn't grow up in that environment. So I didn't know. It's not what people think it is, what you see on TV. It's real stuff. One of my friends, I would go to her home all the time. And when I was a teenager, and her stepdad was abusive to her mom. And I got to see that. I didn't grow up with it, but that was her life. And when I was at her house, I was a part of her life. It was scary. It was a lot. And it's one of those things, though, that you don't know what's going on in somebody's house. You don't know what people are dealing with in secret. And just because they may not live together, but that does not mean that there's not a struggle. And so trying to go to work, I'm sure you've probably worked with people. You're like, what in the world is going on? Like, they calling in every Monday, and we just assume they just partied or whatever. It could be a whole lot of other things going on, and that's why they're calling in every Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Just never know. So as a woman, a young woman, I'm gonna say a young woman, you're a grown adult though, a grown old woman. I can't believe you actually 35. I just don't have a place to put that right now. I'm struggling with that actually. How would you encourage a sister to choose her, like, and be okay with them, to where you're good with just being with you? If that's the season you're in your life, how would you tell them to do it?
Are you being real with yourself? At the end of the day, like, are you being really honest with yourself?
So you pose that question for food for thought.
Because that's something that I, have had to ask myself. Like, are you being real with yourself right now? Like, is this a real foundation that you stepped into, or did you step into something and everything just gonna fall through? So I think it's, again, just being, you really got to be honest with yourself.
Wow. Honesty can be rough sometimes, because the truth, we've heard people say before that the truth hurts. It can. We don't like pain, so we do everything to avoid it.
Yeah.
But there's some pain. There's some stuff. There's some levels of hurt though. Oh, because of the costs attached to it. There's some things, when you've been hurt at that level, you don't go back to that.
But that also, is dangerous as well. And again, it comes back to really praying and asking God again, revealing me, the side of me before this hurt. Show me how to see my life, or even still be soft or open to love again after this hurt, after this pain. And that's, I say that looking at it on a deeper level, seeing women who've been heartbroken, been drugged through the mud, even had to deal with losing a significant other, physically, like they're no longer here.
Yeah. And
even opening yourself up to wanting to love again, knowing that can happen again. It's layers.
Yeah. So as we continue to peel back the layers this year, one of the part of the reason why I kind of wanted to talk about this in the beginning of the year is because coming into 2024, like the last 3 years have been pretty rough in my life. I've dealt with a lot of losses and just dealing with change and transition and shifting, and some of it's been good, some's been great, some not so great. But as I started evaluating and doing some self-inventory as I'm coming into this year and looking forward to what God is doing now, that means I have to make some decisions. I'm at that place of decision yet again. And I'm like, okay, God, feels like I'm doing this every year now, or every so many months. And change is scary. So part of why I wanted to talk about this is because being whole and finding us, whether it's in a relationship with a significant other, a girlfriend, or whatever that might be, making a decision to be okay with you, whether someone else is okay with you, is not as easy as it is to say it. It can come with a lot of stuff. But as we grow, I'm gonna say and, not but. And as we grow in the things of God and we make decisions about what we're gonna do, putting some stuff out there, and you saying that, being honest with yourself. I'm gonna add another layer to it, to yourself, about yourself. When we get to do that, then that's that self-talk, that real talk, that in-depth real talk. And so what I want to do is encourage all the people that are listening, whether they're live or not, people who will watch it after we're no longer live. I want everyone to ponder. You asked a question, like, you would tell her, like, hey, basically, what is this really about?
Yeah.
So I'm really thinking, even with myself, what is this really about? Why do I find myself in the same cycle? So this is the year that cycles break. Yeah. It's like they're old, they're boring. It's just, I can't keep doing this no more. It's just the same old stuff. So I've been asking God to do some new things in my life, and this is part of it. So I wanted to start this year off with something new, something I've never done before. And I'm trusting God in that process. And so I wanted to do something new. I even had a new guest, new day, new time, the same time, new day. So there's always stuff God is doing. So with that, you guys will be seeing Seretta again, because we got a part 2 that we're going to talk about. And that one's going to be a little bit more light and airy. When I have her back on in a couple weeks, we're going to figure out a time and a date. But I want to thank you all. Thank you, Seretta, for being here and sharing your heart and speaking and all of this, and being that powerful woman of God, and being that whole woman, and having the ability to say no and saying yes to you. And moving forward. And for all the women that are looking and saying, okay, when is it going to happen for me? Know that you're not alone in that, because Seretta is walking this walk, and she's like, okay, God, when I'm here for whenever you're ready. You're waiting on him, and you're good with that. So I want to encourage people to do that. Dr. Lady Rain, I appreciate you always being in the cut for us and encouraging us and doing this powerful work of the ministry. And we're believing God for many more open doors. Praise Fest Phoenix, because I've been here all these years and there ain't been no Praise Fest Phoenix since I've been here, since I've known you. I know you started that here, but a while ago, but I want you to have it again. She said no, but
she gonna do what I think she'll do
it. Don't tell her what I said, y'all. But I know how to pray. Somebody will call her up tomorrow, like, let's do Praise Fest Phoenix, and she's gonna be mad at her. She's gonna be like, I don't want to do it. But the Lord knows everything is done at his timing and at the time it's supposed to be. So if it's meant, the Lord do it. So the Lord bless this station beyond measure. Thank you all, and I will see you next week. God bless and good night.
Thank you so much.
You are tuned in to that praising station, Praise.fm, where we get our praise on.